Hello, hello. Welcome back to whatever the heck we call this. I really need to come up with a name. We're going to call it Make and Break. It's always been Make and Break. I don't know why I insist that it's not Make and Break. It's always Make and Break. We're always making, we're always breaking. 3D models. It's just what we do. So let me go ahead and throw on our normal little subset of music, and then I'm going to get into it. Should be a pretty packed day. There we go. We got some new music from Harris Heller. Sweet, sweet man. Your days are numbered, Harris Heller. I'm going to be switching to new music here soon, but I got to work out the copyright stuff first. All right, so, yeah, what are we looking at here? So, people who've been watching for a while might know that I made this furnace on stream. I made these speakers off stream, but I did some work on them on stream. And this is a scene that's kind of been circulating a little bit on my social media. This is kind of one of the main scenes of the game that I'm working on right now. And it's, I guess, somewhat crucial that I make it interesting and vibrant. If I go ahead and plug in our render, you can see we got a really muted color scheme, right? We got the copper, we got the rubbery black, we got this like rusty, crazy furnace thing. A little candle to break it up, but nothing too much, right? It's all pretty standard. So today, we're going to flip that on its head, and we're going to add some like hyper bright, vivid colors to this to shake it up. So this is a rave. Anybody who didn't know, this is a rave. This is a big old rave scene. I'm going to go ahead and build out the set for it. So yeah, we're going to get everybody going crazy. So let's start by making a solo cup. I think a solo cup is iconic. I think you can't super have a rave scene without a solo cup, so solo cup it is. So I'm going to place that in the background. That little solo cup right there. Make it nice and big. Oh, it's upside down. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and just work on this. I'm not going to think about anything else. I can go ahead and just boop, boop, boop. Look at them. They're gone. There ain't nothing left, right? All gone. So now we're just making a solo cup. And what I think I want to do... In fact, I'm going to put it all to 0 before we do anything. And I'm going to move it back. You know what? Actually, it's probably fine just like this. I just want it smaller. You know what? I got a little presumptuous with what I was doing. We want it kind of small. Okay, I put it back by 10. And what I actually want is it to be negative 10. Still kind of figuring out this stuff. I reset all of my alignments yesterday. I went in, I fixed my startup file for Blender 2.9 or whatever we're on. 2.93, I think. I fixed everything, so my startup file is good. I got a 5,000 length on the camera now, which is what I always change it to when I make things. So it's that way by default now. We got this guy by default. Thank you, Simo, for pointing that out. A lot of stuff is just changed by default. The no DC is back, even though I keep deleting it. That no DC is the most annoying thing on earth. It's because my video card is outdated. It just won't go away. But that's life, man. So let's go ahead. Let's do this. So we want to make a solo cup. Bursts into a room in an explosion of glitter. Junie. Junie really just came out here saying, hello, world, I'm gay. And I'm for it. I'm here for that. Junie, you really out here. Okay, so let's get this thing going. I'm gonna model in a more traditional way than I normally do. I know everybody has been screaming at me to do this the correct way, and today is your day. I'm gonna turn my music down just a little bit. I think it feels better that way. So, how do we want to do this? I think I want to be very consistent. Okay, here's how I plan on doing it. I'm going to put a little bit of a clear coat on this guy, and clear coat's definitely not the right word, but you know what I meant. So I'm going to go ahead and go straight into edit mode. We're going to grab this guy and just start popping in some measurements for it. Oh yeah, this is going to work. This is going to work great. So if I grab the whole thing and I scale along the X down, what we're doing is we're matching each of these lengths. So I'm going to be doing SX a whole bunch. Okay. And now I'm going to grab these two guys and we're going to go exact. So we're making like a super orthographic 2-scale solo cup. Aha. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to repeat this process like 1,000 times. So, you know, prepare to have compelling content for a sec. Okay, now this part, I actually don't know how to do this. How do you not do Y? Oh no, I don't know how to do this. Oh, actually, this is easy, obviously. What am I thinking? Because there's no Z, I don't need to worry about Z at all. Haha, problem solved. Cool. Okay, so now we just keep on plugging away. I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy down to right here. And then I can grab all these faces. I'm actually going to do you as well. And we're going to extrude along normals until we get there. Oh, this is easy. This is it. We're here. Look at this. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, this should be no problem at all. Okay, so if I extrude along normal here, we go out to this length. I'm going to raise these up a little bit. We'll see how that goes in just a second. But for the time being, this looks pretty good. I gotta say it. Okay, so that is the correct length. Now I want to loop cut this guy right here. Right there, we'll say. Scale it out. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. No, you know what? I need to do this a little bit better. I need to be a little bit more careful with how I'm doing this. Let's scale out this part. We should have scaled from the top to begin with, now that I'm thinking about it. But you don't know what you don't know, so too bad. We're doing just fine. Oh, and it's not... You know what? I can fix this part easy enough. I'm not pleased that it's not doing it correctly, but who cares? We'll be all right. So I will go ahead and pop you on and dissolve faces, and now we will go back to this view, and we'll go all the way out to where we want you, which is going to be kind of a little bit of guesswork, if I'm being perfectly honest. So that's right. Now we grab you, and we pop you on up. Man, solo cups are a weird shape, aren't they? I kind of thought they were just cylinders, but no, they're actually like bizarro. They're like just the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life. So if I go SZ and not SZ, I want GZ. We come up just a little bit. I realized my mistake as I did it. It's right here, and now we can GZ and go up. This is so strange. How do people work like this? I guess it's for the sake of accuracy. So I guess a lot of people that are doing this are, you know, just doing their best to like hit things correctly and like make sure that they get the measurements correctly, which good for them. You know, I'm certainly not the most professional source in the world. People should not trust me for their 3D advice. But man, I don't get how people do this. This feels so unnatural to me. So I'm going to go ahead and extrude this out here, and we're almost done. Go ahead and GZ that, put it on up, do one last loop cut, and then we'll call it. And I'm going to have to dissolve to an edge, which is not going to be my favorite thing in the world, but It should be easy enough to fix. So extrude along normals out to here, push it up a little bit and make a point, and then we're done. And I'll give it a nice little lip for sipping on. In fact, I'm gonna just make the lip right here. So all I need to do is pop another loop cut in here, scale it down to the size I like right there, and we'll reduce down to that. And right now it looks a little bit like a strange to-go container. But I can live with strange to-go containers. So that's the end. That's the last piece. So we want to dissolve you. That's the last piece. Dissolve. Dissolve. Everything should come down to this piece right here, which means that this guy should go out to here and come down just a little bit. So we'll GZ that. Oh yeah, we're here, we're in business. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and put this guy in just a little bit, and we're gonna just scooch him on down. Scooch him on down until he hits a point that we're comfortable with, and then we will extrude along normals the rest of the way down. And bring him in. And that is a solo cup. Okay, so we have ourselves the beginnings of a solo cup. I got to do a few things to make this normal, but shouldn't be too bad at all. So I'm feeling pretty stoked. So we'll bring it out so it's a normal square for the most part. If it gets a little beat up, who cares? It's kind of in my best interest, or it's not my best interest. It's like I have a real ting to try and dent this and make it look super messy, but I have to make like 300 of these. And if I make all of them the same dent, it's going to be kind of stupid. So I might make like a bunch of clean ones and like a few bad ones. But we got to start with the good ones for sure. Any less than that and I would be shooting myself in the foot. Okay, so is that... Okay, that's not correct, but it's actually kind of what we want. So if I take these edges, just the edges, what happens if I extrude them? Oh, yo. Yep. We're here. We've done it. We've made ourselves a perfect solo cup. And all I got to do is bring that little gap up, and then we're set. And I'll put the little ridge on the bottom as well, because I don't think you would have a cup that sits super flat like this. That's not common, and I don't think that's how solo cups work, so I'm not going to make that assumption about them. Okay, so I'm going a little higher than usual. I'm going to give it kind of a big gulp look for all my fellow Americans who are, you know, usually not awake when my stream starts. I'm going to use extrusion just because I need that little layer to sit. Yo, try and tell me that's not a perfect solo cup. We got that mathematical precision. The only thing I want to do is that rim, and the inside of this needs that little piece that you bite on. I'm sure that's not normal. I'm sure not supposed to bite on that, but I always bite on it. You know what I'm talking about. There's that piece on the inside here, and you're always like chewing on it. So I'm going to do this. We're going to scale this guy out just a little bit. We're going to make that ridge really sharp. Like mega sharp. What does that give us? There you go. You get that little ridge that you chew on. Deny it all you want. I know everybody does it. I know we all do it. I might even go one higher on the resolution. I don't know. That might be a little overkill, but that's what I want to do. Actually, now that it's got a little bit of a higher resolution, maybe I only need to bevel it like once. So I'm going to add just a quick, tiny little bevel to this guy. Just a little bit, just to show our effort. And that should look perfect. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, yeah. Heck yeah, man. Now we just gotta go ahead and color it. And then we're done. Oh, and I should say, when you look at these cups, there is usually like a divot on the side. How on earth am I gonna do that? How on earth? Because they have that square bottom, don't they? They're not round like this. They have that weird squared, almost like you can slot them into like a soda machine or something. We'll get back to that. Let me material it first. Let's do our basic materialing before we get into that. So what I want probably is to take this guy and GZ him down. I'm gonna go a little bit more interpersonal on this guy. I'm gonna make this thing a little bit more of my speed rather than copying it exactly at this point. I don't think I need to worry about that at all, especially given that this is just a piece of fantasy. Like, the universe that this narrative takes place in is not ours, and this is not canonical at all. You would never have a solo cup. This is just something that we're doing to kind of sell the rave idea. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. Wow, I'm stoked. I know it's like not the most impressive thing in the world, but it looks great. And it took what? 10 minutes? Pretty good. Pretty stoked about it. Okay. So let's node this guy up. So I already set up my HDRI earlier, so I don't need to worry about that. We're going to go the bright red. I'm just going to go 1, and we're going to go 0.5. Get the brightest, absolute brightest red that we can. I'm going to add clear coat to it because it has clear coat. Sheen. Oh, yeah, it has a ton of sheen with no tint whatsoever. Specular with no tint whatsoever. Roughness is kind of glossy. Yep, there you go. The only thing that I want is I don't want it to reflect. I know I put roughness to 0.3. This should be fine. This looks good, actually. It's got that really nice plasticky look. Cool. Okay, so let's go into edit, and we're going to go ahead and make that white rim. So I'm going to go ahead and call this solo red, and then we'll do solo white. And that should be our time. And then the stream's over. No, I'm just kidding. We have a lot to do today. I've been thinking about this for a bit. Every time I end up thinking about streams, the streams go a lot better. Lo and behold, who would have thought? Who would have thought putting effort into something would make it better? But, you know, that's where we're at. All right, so that is the inside. Ready. We're going to go ahead and do slot number 2, assign. We're going to go ahead and copy the red. I got to fix up all of these materials. I have way too many materials in this. Okay, we got solo red, and this is solo white. Done. Boom. Should I be calling it solo? Probably not. It's probably not in our best interest, but too bad. Oh, there he is. I mean, it's literally perfect. It's as perfect as it can be. I kind of want to put some like beverage in here, but I'm not sure about that yet. We'll get back to that. Okay, so next. What are we up to? I also kind of think that Streamlabs didn't post in our Discord, so let me go ahead and do a manual post real quick. Streamlabs is really iffy about that stuff. Let's see. Oh no, we're good. Never mind. We're set. All right, so solo cup, done. I can get rid of you, no problem. Now it's kind of up to me to make some variations on this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and copy it. We're going to call this solo cup round. And then I'm going to go ba-da-ba-ba-boom. Then we're going to do solo cup detail. Sure. It's not how I probably should name that, but it's what I'm going to name that. And what we're going to do here is apply the subdivision. Applying the subdivision is going to be very good for us because it means that I can just go boom, 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 and get rid of all of these because they're identical. They literally serve no purpose. Any of them that are here serve no purpose. Let's save ourselves thousands and thousands and thousands of polygons once we add a bunch of these. So if there are two purple points that are interacting with one another, you know, there's no curves between them. The purple points require no in-betweens. The roundness is really what I'm looking for to begin with anyway. That's the only really reason I did the subdivision and to auto bevel that one top edge. Everything else is just normal. So we'll go nice and quick on this. Get everything going nice. You can watch the statistics if you want to see what we're actually doing to this thing. See, this is the part we need. We need that to stay round. That part's good. This part's all right. I'm probably going to remove about half of these guys, but I'll do that in post. There's no reason to do that right now. This part is straight as well. Yep, so we can come straight down and just take all of these away. And all of a sudden, I am like immediately reminded of a time. I can't, it's like such a vague memory. So my parents were like really big into vacation when I was young. We lived very modestly. My dad was one of those kinds of people that like never wanted to say how much money he made, which is fair. I think I kind of feel the same way nowadays. But I didn't get that as a kid. And so we would live really modestly. We would like, you know, we seemingly did not have money to spare as I was growing up, which is fine, which was cool. I was A-okay with that. I was not a kid that really needed much, aside from video games. Although I don't know if I needed those, but I wanted them. So we're living to our own means or whatever you want to call it. And then we would take these like really elaborate vacations. And that was like where the money went, right? When we made money as a family, I mean, I didn't make money, I was a child. When my family made money, we would take these crazy vacations. And I am now remembering a time. I want to say it's Costa Rica, but I don't remember where it was. We were in the middle of some South American city. Just in the middle of nowhere. It was just some random city. I'm sure it was a big, important city, but I didn't know what it was. And we're just like walking around and going to all these like markets and doing all this sort of stuff. And I remember just like how messy everything was. It was just very like bizarre. It reminded me a lot of Las Vegas. If you've ever been to Las Vegas is like one of these places that's just like dirty. And you're always like, why is it so dirty? What the heck is all this about? And that was how this place was, but it was in the middle of nowhere. And it was just, you know, I'm sure there's a cultural barrier. I'm sure I don't understand, but like, why would you want to like let your city get dirty? I don't know. I'm somebody who I go hiking very often, fairly often, I should say. I go hiking fairly often. And when I'm hiking, I pick up trash because I don't want trash on my hiking trail. It's a beautiful place. There's nature. I don't want like animals eating this stuff. I don't want to see it. I don't want to deal with it. And I'm sure everybody else feels the same way. So inevitably, I clean up trash when I'm walking the trails. And, you know, why I got into all this story, I don't exactly even remember what the point of this story was. But the point for me at this point is these solo cups are just reminding me. Solo cups are like definitely one of the most common things you see everywhere. Just a typical messy item. Okay, so I have done all of this. I've lost my mind in the process talking about God knows what. So let's go ahead and actually build out our square. So we want to square these guys. Here's how I think I'm going to do it. We're going to go Y. I'm going to go X-ray. All of you. Yes, this is going to work. This is going to work. This is going to work super well. Yep, boom. Check this out. Oh, wow. It even went, okay, yeah, it went through. Smart, 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 smart. Okay, so we're here, we're back, we're up. I rotate once more, grab you, once more, grab you, and we're officially done. Easy peasy. So what I want to do is bring these guys in to give you a little bit of a grip. Okay, definitely not that much. That is too much. So if I bring it like that, part of me thinks I should not use a smooth and I should be using something else. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Like that, that's about right. And then we're going to go ahead and use something else. Sphere. That, come on. I know you can press like F14 or something to bring that menu back, but I don't know the exact measurement or the exact key for it, and I'm very careful with my like F numbers because I feel like the F numbers, when you mess them up, they like go real bad. Okay, so we're gonna go like 0.9. And now we will experiment with this. Oh, that looks bad. That actually looks pretty good. Hold on. That actually sells it for me. That's it. That's exactly what they look like. Yep, and they have that ridge up top, but it stays circular once it hits the top. Yeah, that's it. Done. The bottom doesn't look very good, but that's exactly what they look like. Yeah, boom. Cool. Looks a little bit like a trash can. I can live with that. So I have this one, and then I have the typical default round one if we need to go back, just in case this is not good. But I'm going to say this is good. And it's nice and red and beautiful for us. There we go. It's got a little bit of gloss. It's looking perfect. Cool. So let's go on to the next one. The next one I have been looking forward to. I've been thinking a lot about it. It's going to require a bit of doing. It's actually a two-parter now that I'm thinking about it. It is a two-parter, isn't it? Ugh, I don't want it to be two parts. It has to be two parts, though. That's fine. Okay, so here's what it is. We'll make ourselves a cylinder. I'm going to go ahead and say 28 is probably the size that we want. We're going to make this guy long. And then I'm going to copy it. And we're going to bring it down just a little bit. But we're going to make it just about as long. Actually, I should have not done that. Let's edit this thing first. So I want to cap both of the ends of this guy and make him kind of round. You know what? I should definitely get rid of you first. I should also apply scale. What am I doing? Apply scale. There we go. Now, if I grab it and I bevel it, we get something kind of nice. We get something really nice. Now, if we're being extra crazy, I should pop a hole in here and tie a lanyard around it. But I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to wait. Yeah, this is perfect. This would be just fine. This will be just fine. Okay, let's get rid of that cylinder. Make this one smooth. Super nice, super easy, very cool. Part of me kind of thinks that I want to go even less on this thing. Hold on, go back, go back, go back. Let's get rid of this cylinder one more time. We're back to this. Let's go ahead and bevel. Let's give it just a tiny little bevel. There we go. Just a tiny little bevel. Make it look a little bit more like a stick and a little bit less like a rod. And then we're going to copy and make it small. So we're going to do that. We're going to bring it up. And I'm still kind of doubting if this is going to be usable. But it'll be good practice to learn nonetheless. The reason I say I don't know if it's going to be usable is because I have to export this to Unreal. And if I'm doing two assets, it's probably not going to be the nicest thing in the world. But I'll cross that bridge when I get there. We've gotten into a real mood about just kind of doing things. So let's just do things. Let's not think too hard about that sort of stuff. Okay, so I got this. Specular should be pretty low. And I definitely want to have some clear coat on this guy, but not the full clear coat, just a little bit of clear coat. And what are we doing? You know what I need? I need a little bit of alpha. This is going to be a pain. I'm making this so much worse. I'm going to use everyone's favorite noise texture, and we're going to go ahead and use a color ramp right there. So what I want is to plug this into the alpha. Get rid of that inner cylinder. We're going to call you outer glow stick. Sorry, I've ruined it. It's a glow stick. Inner glow stick. Okay, so now we're here. Let's go ahead and plug this guy in. We're going to plug the object into vector. Oh yeah, and we're already starting to look pretty good on it. I'll lower down to 3. We'll do U like that. And we'll distort it just a little bit. Okay, so now black is not see-through. So let's do 0.75. And the full see-through cannot be full see-through, so I'm going to do 0.05. There we go. And now it should be pretty see-through. A little bit better looking. You know what? I kind of liked it better when it's more smudgy like this. I'm going to use a B-spline. I think that will... Nope, we definitely want the constant. And by constant, I definitely mean I want ease. Let's try 3 different things until one of them sticks. Okay, so that's the glow stick. It's looking a little much for me, if I'm being perfectly honest. Having trouble wrapping my brain around how I want this to look. Let's try just a scale of 1 and see what that does. That makes it look a lot less weird. Okay. So, next up, let's go ahead and do the inner part. So here is where the fun for me is. And I gotta be very careful about how I do this. I gotta be really careful about how I do this. What I want is to make it smaller, like that. Kind of think we might want it a little bit further away from the top as well. Just like that. Yeah, that'll do. I'm gonna call you glow stick. So this is our glow stick, and we're gonna do something very specific for it. I'm gonna give it an emission that goes between a rainbow. Oh, this is gonna work. This is gonna work super well. What up, Mr. Six? How are you doing? So I'm gonna go ahead and put on a color ramp to the emission color. Oh, it already looks kind of good. All good? I'm good. I'm actually doing really good. I took a lovely little stretch this morning. Feeling, wait a second. What the heck? That was weird. I took a lovely little stretch this morning. I ate really good lunch. I did a bunch of research, did a bunch of work. I feel good. I feel like I got a lot done today. Couldn't be better, honestly. Okay, so this is our glow stick. Thank you for saying that. Mr. Six, how's life on your end? What's the bar like? What's school? What's all that stuff doing for you? Okay, so we're gonna do something really weird here. It's gonna get really, really strange. It's going to require a bit of doing on my part, so bear with me while I flub around for just a sec. I'm going to go ahead and throw on a gradient. A gradient, and it should become clear what I'm doing in just a second with a radial. My semester just ended, so very peaceful for now. You're going into your sophomore year, right? You're gonna be Mr. Sophomore next year. Okay, so now we got that. This is now our length. And what you want to do is just take the Y and move it over. Here we go. This is it. We're going to move that Y right over. And I just want to make sure I get everything else good first. Yeah, but I don't feel like it? What do you feel like? What's your inner monologue telling you? Kind of think I might want to just get rid of the plastic coating. What up, Chaos? Chaos, how was your stream earlier? I had a lot on my plate. I wasn't able to show up. Ended up getting a lot of work done this morning, though, so feeling good about that. Okay, so theoretically, which one is it? Which one is it? Oh, no. Nope, it should be Z then. Oh gosh, I've messed it up. I've messed it up. How have I messed this up? I thought I was perfect. I thought I had done this perfectly. It should just rotate. And it just goes away. What? Just commission work? Is that a glow stick? It is a glow stick. I have a cool idea of how to get it to do crazy stuff, but I'm having trouble executing. I don't know why. Let's double check our... That's fine, that's fine. Okay, hold on. We're gonna apply scale on both of these. What do I want to be doing? Like, there's the really dumb way to do this. Okay, I have a silly way that I can do this. It's not my favorite thing in the world. I wish I didn't have to do this. But here's how I'm going to do it. I got a brand new way to do it. I thought I could be smart about it. I thought I could do this a little bit cooler than this. There he is, right there. Right. So we're going to go ahead and scale this guy way down. Definitely don't do a 0 scale. That's going to end poorly for you. There we go. Let's go ahead and change our X to be like that about. That looks perfect. Okay, so there he is. That's a rainbow glow stick, right? I didn't want to do this. I wanted to do it in a really smart, cool way. But smart and cool is not on the menu today, so instead we're going to do it the really simple way. We're going to go ahead and pop on a hue saturation. Plug you in. Kind of wish I could go higher in the saturation, but obviously it's not how color works. I can just go like this, and that'll make it go crazy. So I'm going to start with a 1. It's like I don't know the school building yet because of COVID-19 and all, so I didn't have this extra familiar experience, but hopefully I will. You know, that is kind of a shame. You know, COVID has definitely been very hard for people in that regard. Sorry you had to go through that. I feel like, you know, my experience throughout college was very chill. I was a very chill guy in college. I didn't really do a whole lot. And so, you know, when I start hearing people that are like out of school, like because of COVID, or not out of school, but like, you know, not experiencing school to its fullest because of COVID, I'm kind of like, it's probably not that big of a deal. But something I got to keep in mind is that people don't experience it the same way that I did. There we go. Made ourselves a glow stick. There she is. Part of me wants to try and throw a little kink in here and make it look a little bit weirder. And I might do that. But I kind of think this sells the idea. I just wish the strips weren't so obvious looking. This isn't going to compile. Let me get rid of the outer glow stick. We'll just do the inner one. There we go. That's roughly what you can expect, and that looks pretty bad. So I'm going to grab you real quick. Nope, come back. Let's grab you. Looks pretty bad. Let's fix this. I'm going to change the interpolation on this guy to... Maybe I want to just change the easing mode. Easing to ease in. Or ease out. Oh, it looks bad. This is one thing about Blender that I will never understand is the way that animations like stop themselves. I don't get why they stop. It's like, okay, so here's where the animation starts. The animation starts at 1, and the animation ends at 60. Theoretically, it should just go, right? But it doesn't. It just goes. It's very weird. All right. Mind me while I sniffle a little bit. Hey! Oh, it defaults to easing. That's why. I learned something new today. It's good to be learning something new. Always good to be learning something new. I feel like I rarely learn things when I'm on stream. But that's it. Okay, cool. We got ourselves a little barbershop poll. So, the question is, do we want it to look like this, or do we want it to look like something else? Part of me thinks it might be cool if I go the extra mile and I put whites in between each color. So I'm going to make a new color ramp, and I'm going to try that real quick. I have kind of a fast way that I can do this. Let's see here. We want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors. So let's grab you 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go ahead and distribute evenly. Oh, I need to double this. So 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Distribute evenly. Okay, so you are going to be bright white. And we're just going to copy. We're going to copy. Get a bunch of these whites in here. I might make the whites off-white, but I don't know how crazy weird I want to go with this. This might be a big surprise to everybody, but as a big giant nerd, I haven't been to a rave in quite a while. So it's a little difficult for me to wrap my brain around rave culture sometimes. Which, you know, I guess is maybe not a good reason for you to making a game about raves, but it's just what I was feeling. You know, maybe COVID's got me going crazy and I just needed a little bit of an out. So we got 8 different colors, meaning that we need to divide this H by 8. So I'm going to do 1... Hello? 1.2, 0.12. There we go. It's not going to work. 0.1. Okay, so we're going to have to manually do color because I don't know how color works. So you're doing a game about raves? Yeah, kind of. I think I can share a decent amount of it at this point. I've gotten far enough in development where I'm not super worried. And also, if anybody somehow found a way to steal this idea, I think it still wouldn't be copyright infringement. So I'm not all that worried about it. So I'll just go ahead and say it. I am making a game about demons. They're not really demons, so don't quote me on that. But they're effectively demons. Some demons come and ransack a castle. I'm using the word castle very sparingly. It's not exactly a castle, but we'll call it a castle. They ransack this, like, quote-unquote castle. And part of their, like, hunting process is they throw a rave when they're done. And so you are this character, and this is the part where I'm going to be secretive. This is the part where I'm not going to share too much. You're a character who is seeing the aftermath of this attack. You get to like witness this rave, and you have to kind of figure out why. Yo! Look how good that looks. Look how good that looks. Yeah, giant bad trip. That's exactly what it is. There is a subtext to the game. So the subtext of the game is, yeah, we're gonna spice this up just a little bit more. I don't like how much white there is. Actually, let me try black real quick and see what that does for us. That's not gonna work. It has to be white. It has to be like, okay, hear me out. There is subtext to the game, and the subtext to the game is that it's based off of a bunch of dreams I've had. So it is sort of a dream diary. 21 The World is a game that comes to my mind as being the same sort of thing as what I'm doing. Very much love 21 The World. If you haven't experienced that, go experience 21 The World. So the like canonical narrative is that it's demons throwing a rave, but there's also my dream diary stapled on top of it. So that's a thing. Take that for what it's worth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Distribute evenly. Okay, so you are this. You are white. You are this. This is going to get messy real quick. You are white. You are yellow. You are yellow. You're white. You're green. You're green. You're white. You're blue. You're blue. Cyan, I should say, to be accurate. And then we're here. Oh, and it's perfect because the red is going to match. Yeah. I should add one more, shouldn't I? Oh, gosh. Never heard of it? I mean, it's not a popular game. 21 The World is a lovely little walking sim, though. I could not recommend it more for people. I'm going to add one more right here. And if I do this correctly, I shouldn't have to redo things. Come on. It's a free game. It's just a little free game that somebody made. It's based on Dream Diaries. It's very near and dear to my heart. Ooh. Sam Anafik. Okay, cool. There he is. There he is. Now, if we're feeling crazy, if we're feeling a little bit crazy, oh gosh, how am I going to do this? This is going to be a little bit nutty. Can I put the glow sticks together? And I think I can. Okay, so right now, here's what we have. We have an outer glow stick that looks like that with an inner glow stick that looks like this. I'm going to attempt to put them together. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to start with the inner glow stick. And I'm going to remove emissions on the whites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, this is going to be a disaster. Okay, so when I eventually go crazy in an hour from now, know that this was the moment that started it all. When I lose my mind, this was how I lost my mind. What's my favorite band? Man, what a tough question, bud. What an actual tough question. So, I like music a lot. I care a lot about music. I'm very musically inclined. that sounds pompous. That's not what I mean. I care a lot about music. The end, period. I like music so much. I care so much about it. And so I end up liking lots of music. Right now, I've been listening to a bunch of Ariana Grande. I know Vanilla, whatever. I've been listening to a lot of Igor, who is a metal musician who recomposes classical music as synth metal craziness. I've been listening to a lot of Harper and Freddie Dredd, who are like dart rappers. Yes, I'll put it in chat. It is super good. I could not recommend it more. Igor is amazing. The album Hallelujah is definitely the best one. But if you want to have an existential experience, depending if you're this kind of person or not, put on Dixit Dominus by Igor. Dixit Dominus, classic opera, classical piece. Put on Dixit Dominus by Igor and don't do anything. It's 5 minutes long. Just sit and listen to it for 5 minutes, and man, it takes me to another place. It does something to me. If it doesn't do it to you, I apologize. I didn't mean to give you that. But I care a lot about Igor. I care very, very much about Igor. Anyway, that being said, my favorite band probably. What's the CD on AMA? What do you mean? What does that mean? I don't understand that question. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna redo this just for a second, right here. I think I do have a favorite band. I've always been kind of coy about answering that question. I've always been a little bit like, I don't know, I don't really have a favorite band, blah, 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 blah. I think I do have a favorite band. I like music in such small bursts that it's hard for me to acknowledge that I like somebody. The person that I like most, or the band that I like most, quote unquote, is probably Gorillaz. I'm a massive Gorillaz fan. I've liked Damon Albarn's or Damon Albarn's, depending on what kind of person you are. I've liked his work forever. I mean, I don't want to undermine Jamie Hewitt's, role on the project, but Gorillaz is really like it. Like, I really feel like a deep connection to that on a strange, bizarre level that I've never felt before. I love their double bass song, Do You? The Cool Down. Oh, the Cool Down on the AMA? I think it's like a minute. Shouldn't be too long. The double bass song. I love their double bass song. I can't even picture what you're talking about. Double bass song. By the Gorillaz? When you're saying double bass, also, are we talking about having two bass players? Or are we talking about a double bass, the long classic instrument? Because I can't picture either of those in the Gorillaz. Okay, I've been sent a link. I can't open that link right now. Otherwise, I will get copyright claimed. Can you just type the name of the song for me? Save for later? Yeah, no worries. What's the name of the song? Oh, it's just called Double Bass? I've never even heard of that. What album is it on? Double Bass. Unless it's the Now Now. I can't imagine. I mean, it might be Song Machine, but I feel like I know Song Machine pretty well. Double Bass. Why have I not heard of this? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and not do that. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these. We're going to try and fix this real quick. This looks a little messy for me. I don't like the white bands in here. Sing for us, dude. People are always asking Chaos to sing. All right, let's distribute evenly. Some of them got fixed and some of them didn't. You know what? I'm kind of okay with it looking like this. I think I don't care too much. There's also a part of me that's just like, let's cut that. Who cares? Like, it's fine if it's white. I don't care that much. It ain't that big. No singing for me. Oh, it's from the original? Double bass. I have not heard of this. And as a consolidation, I'm going to go black, and then I'm definitely moving on because I've been thinking about this for way too long. Okay, so let's make a tier list of Gorillaz albums real quick. I'd love to get everyone else's input, but I'm going to give you my tier list of Gorillaz albums, just off the dome. I'm going to start with my highest and my lowest, and I'll go from there, and I'll re-say it at the end once I remember. Oh, it's perfect. That looks great, actually. It looks like a little like neon bamboo. The best album by far. The one that matters to me the most, I should say, is D-Sides. D-Sides is the B-Sides to Demon Days. D-Sides is super important to me. The song Hong Kong from D-Sides is like incredibly important to me. I can't even tell you how many times I've cried to that song. The worst album by far, because I like all of them. I like Gorillaz so much. I love Gorillaz. Their worst album by far, and I'm sorry if this gets out there publicly and I'm hurting somebody's feelings, I'm so sorry, is the Now Now. The Now Now is terrible. I used to think that Humans and the Now Now were both terrible, but I've actually grown on to, I've actually really grown to like Humans. I think the narrative behind Humans is really cool, but the Now Now, nope. I just don't. I just don't like it. Let's go ahead and pop these guys in right here. Okay, so from a talent standpoint, I'm going to say that the best Gorillaz album is Plastic Beach. From a... I don't need to preface all of them. I'm just going to rate them. So it's Plastic Beach. So let's say D-Sides, Plastic Beach. Demon Days. Humans. The Fall, G-Sides, Gorillaz, and then the Now Now. I think that's all of them. I don't have them sitting in front of me. I can't picture all of them off the top of my head right now, but I think that's all of them. And that's my list. Those are the best Gorillaz albums by far. I care very much about them. I discovered the Gorillaz when I was like 9 years old, and I have basically listened to them nonstop since, which I can't say about virtually any other media on Earth. So, good on them. Okay, so I'm going to want to plug in... You see that clear coat? I want to cut that clear coat. Actually, do I want to cut clear coat or do I want to cut... I'm going to cut roughness. We're going to cut the roughness down right here. Yep, that's going to look a little bit cleaner for us. And last but not least, we're going to throw this noise texture on here. Oh, and that's also going to be roughness, though. We'll just stick to this. I'm not going to do the other one. We're going to do this one. So now there should be this weird veneer over the top of this thing. And honestly, it looks fine. This looks all right. Mr. Six, what's your favorite band of all time? I think my favorite song from the Gorillaz is Highway. I like Highway. Highway's good. They have a lot of like road songs. Comes to mind is Route 66 or Route 88. I can never remember the name. off of D-Sides, and Bill Murray is like a big road song. I think Damon Albarn really went to like an automobile mind space for a little bit. I'm hearing a lot of Dinosaur Jr. right now. What is Dinosaur Jr.? Dinosaur Jr. off the top of my dome sounds like hardcore funk, like ska. That sounds like ska music. Tell me I'm right. I know I'm right. There we go. Okay, so glow stick is done. More like grunge. Oh, okay. I can get down with grunge. Grunge is cool. I'm going to get rid of the outer glow stick. I don't want it anymore. I like the inner glow stick by itself. Okay, so we have ourselves a solo cup and a glow stick. Now, should I add a lanyard to it? I'm not going to do that yet. We're going to wait on the lanyard. Now let's make a punch bowl. So I'm going to make a little table with a punch bowl. So let's just make a nice, simple table. We're not even going to think about it too hard. It's just going to be a table. Okay. Easy, easy, easy. What time period is Dinosaur Jr. from? Dinosaur Jr. is either from early 2000s or they started up in 2017. Those are the only two options. Or, you know, I could kind of see it as like early 90s as well, but I don't know. That doesn't strike me. Especially for like the attitude that they're putting into their band name. All right, bada boom. We got ourselves a nice little table. Really simple table with some nice rounded corners because you don't want to bump your head. Because, you know, you got a bunch of drunk people jumping around and going crazy. Obviously, you can't be bumping your head on this. They always have a little bit of a lip to them, but I think I'm going to skip the lip. Yeah, there's no reason. I don't care. I don't care that much. We'll go ahead and paint that up as wood. Where's my wood? Do I have wood? I have this wood. That should be all right. This is fine. It's a bit psychedelic. That'll be our wood for now. I'll come back to this, just so I have something to look at. Next up, we want to make some feet for this guy. So let's pop on this guy, and I'm probably going to cut him 2 times and then make a little leg out of him. Yeah, this should be fine. We'll go like this. Pop him down. Yeah, nice and easy. Nice, nice, easy. All right, so let's do this. Let's pop this guy down. Pop him forward just a little bit. And what I really should just do is just subdivide the top of this. I kind of didn't want to do that, but it's probably in our best interest. So I'll go ahead and subdivide it. And if I subdivide this right... Oh, that leg needs a bit of work, that's for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that down like that. We got ourselves a nice little chair. Or a nice little table, I should say. I mean, that's fine, right? Who cares? Ain't that big. If we're feeling extra froggy, and we're always feeling froggy, as you know, we're going to go ahead and pop up a little bevel right here. And the bevel can honestly just be like 2. It's not that big. Did you say something? A client showed up? You're good. I was basically just asking about the band. Nothing too critical. Just kind of processing everything while I deep dive on all the Raves stuff. You know what I want to do? I want to remove that. Now, is that too small? That is too small. There we go. That's fine. Okay, so that is good enough for me, honestly. Could it be better? Could be better. Do I care? No. Let's put on a mirror. and get going. So I'll do X and Y of table. You are table. I guess they're from the 80s and early 90s. That's not what I would have expected at all. Favorite flavors. Oh, gosh. I feel like the more people ask me questions, the more I realize that I'm just like annoying. I'm like an annoying person. I like a lot of stuff, man. I like everything. Can you hone in a little bit? Can we go category by category? Because I could talk forever about food, and I will talk forever about food for sure. But where would we like to start? Okay, do we want these copper legs? So I have copper in my other stuff. I kind of think I don't want copper legs. I think we want it to be... Okay, so copper. I'm using copper as kind of the language of the demons. Like, demons have copper. And for the people that are getting invaded, I think I don't want copper. Gold. I mean, I don't even know why the gold doesn't work. Favorite dessert flavors. I'm real big. Oh, that looks good. That looks real nice. I'm real big on mint. I like mint a lot. Mint is good. Mint is very delicious. The thing that gets me, I'm more of like a texture guy, honestly. I go really crazy for like crunchy. I think everybody likes crunchy. I think anybody who doesn't like crunchy is lying to themselves. But I really like crunchy. Like crunchy is just so like, there's something so weirdly compelling about crunchy stuff. It's like an innate human desire to have crunchy things. I don't know if maybe it's like when we were cavemen and there was like nuts or something, and you're supposed to like explain to them, or you're supposed to like, you know, intuitively know that like things that are crunchy are high calorie or something. But crunchy, man, something about that is just like lovely. Deep fried sesame ice cream once and it was too good. That sounds crazy. Where did you get that? That sounds very, very Japanese. That sounds extraordinarily Japanese. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Your favorite band is Radiohead, though? I have a deep appreciation for Radiohead. I keep trying to get into Radiohead, and I really can't do it for some reason. I feel like Radiohead is one of those bands where I like everything about them except like listening to them for long periods of time, which I know is like humorous, right? That's a silly way to refer to a band. But there's just something about them that like I can't just sit and listen to Radiohead. I have to take a break. Okay, we're gonna call this brick. That's a brick texture. Come on back. And what are we looking for? I'm looking for something that sells the idea. No, that's not it. I gotta say, what am I saying? Radiohead, they released, what is it? Like In Colors or something? They released like an album, one of their most popular albums. And then immediately after, they released a second album called Kid A. And I think about Kid A so much. There's a big part of me that's like, I want to do Kid A's. Like, when I release stuff, I want to release like a version, like a second version. I'm really into that now. They've gotten me stuck on it. What am I looking for? You know what? I'm just going to make a new texture. I'm looking over my textures like it's in there somewhere. I should just make a new one. As far as dessert goes, We're jumping questions back and forth a little bit here. That's fine. As far as desserts go, I think, you know, obviously I really like dark chocolate. I say obvious as if everybody knew that, but now I'm letting you know. I really like dark chocolate. I really like praline. Praline is like a kind of chocolate, I think. I'm not sure. I really like peanut butter. Peanut butter's the dope. Go crazy for cookies. I dislike cake. Okay, here we go. I don't like cake. I don't like cake at all. 0% on cake. If you make me a really nice cake, I'm sure I'll enjoy it. But I'm not going out of my way for cake. I don't love cake. When people eat cake, when people are like, pralines are almonds, hazelnuts, and sugar. Yeah, praline. So it's like Nutella, basically. Yeah, praline is dough. When people, like, they get married and they're like, oh, I want to have a wedding cake. I'm like, this is a waste. This is the worst. I'd so much rather, if I paid money for a wedding, I'd so much rather, like, get a bunch of little chocolates or ice cream. I mean, ice cream's a little childish, I think, for a wedding. But you know what I mean. Man, I'd hate to have cake. And then as far as pie is concerned, I really don't like fruit pie. I don't really like fruit, like warm fruit to begin with. So it's hard for me to be like, you know, a peach cobbler. No. You know what I'd rather have than a peach cobbler? I'd rather have a peach. I'd rather eat a fresh peach. Picked off the vine. You just reminded me, I have pistachio mochi ice cream balls in the freezer. You're welcome. I mean, not you're welcome if you're trying to be on a diet, but you're welcome otherwise. Praline ice cream is the best? Absolutely. Do I like marzipan? I kind of don't know what marzipan is. Trying to be yes. Okay, Chaos. Before you make this decision, I have a trick for you. I have a trick for everyone. For all of you that are here right now, I have the thing. I guess it's worth mentioning. I'm surprised it's such a small crew today. Usually we're like kind of booming right now. I don't know why nobody's showing up, but that's fine. I'm not chasing views, but just gonna throw that out there because I thought that was peculiar. Okay, you ready for the best advice ever? This is how I diet. Here's my diet. And it's the best diet in the world, and I think everybody should do it. You're welcome for this. Eat whatever you want. Eat whatever you want. Oh, I appreciate that, Mr. Six. Eat whatever you want all the time, every day. No cheat days, none of this, none of that. Who cares? Eat whatever you want, except every time you eat a piece of food, ask yourself, am I going to remember this 2 weeks from now? If the answer is no, then eat healthy. Okay? I'd like you all to think about every time you have ever had fast food in your life. Can you remember every time you've had fast food in your life? I guarantee you do not remember every time you've had fast food in your life. I guarantee you cannot track it, and you definitely can't remember the taste of it. And if you had replaced all of those little fast food meals with something healthier, where would you be at in life? And I'm not trying to be holier than thou, but like, that's it. That's the system. Because I suffer from this too. But that is the system that works for me. Doing that has made my life a lot easier. I'll remember these ice cream balls for years to come. Then eat them. I probably wouldn't be fat. Do you think you're fat, Mr. Six? It's always interesting. Okay, I know we're like getting onto maybe some careful territory for people. Anybody who has an aversion towards these sort of conversations, I would like to just sort of put out there. Judgment is not a big part of my life. You can be whatever weight you want. As long as you are comfortable with the weight you are, I don't care. If you feel like you have to lose weight, then go ahead, lose some weight. But I'm not a judgmental person. I don't want to put that out in the world. So you do whatever you're comfortable with. But it's always interesting to hear if people think that they're overweight or not. Because you hear a lot of different things from people. People have lots of weird views of themselves. And it's always strange to see. Because Mr. Six, the way that I picture you being like a little scrappy thing. Just the way that you talk, the way that you handle yourself. You seem very like fit and energetic and whatever. Same? What are you saying same to? My analysis of Mr. Six or my analysis on weight? I say analysis. I'm using really big language. I apologize. I don't think of myself that highly. If it sounds that way, I'm just losing my mind a little bit. The analysis? Yeah. It ain't that big. There's no reason to worry. We should put the solidify modifier above this so we can get like a really nice, yeah, look at that like border right there. That looks good. Perfect. Yeah, at the end of the day, it matters if you're comfortable with your body. I'm trying to be comfortable with myself, knowing I have a lot to work on. Excellent. Good for you. That's all there is to it. I was talking to Junie before stream about this. I have started like working out every day. Just a little bit, just a small little bit. I only do kinesthetics. Kinesthetics, correct me if I'm misquoting this, but to the best of my understanding, kinesthetics is when you use your own body weight against yourself. You don't use free weights. So I'm not like lifting weights. I'm just like, I'm using my own body weight against itself, quote unquote. Correct? That's correct? Okay, perfect. Good to know. So I've started doing daily kinesthetics. And, man, it's wonderful. It's so nice. It feels so good. Like, it's amazing how little effort it takes to be fit. It doesn't require that much. There we go. We're gonna do that. I'm paying very close attention to what I'm doing for just a sec. No. Okay, I messed it up. That's why I was paying close attention. I will share my kinesthetic routine with you in just a second. But first we'll get there. And I gotta say, right now, my legs are killing me. I'm real beat today. Do you have a bar in a doorway, for example? I don't. So pull-ups are really tough for me where I'm at. Not physically, but like there's nowhere to do pull-ups. Okay, pull-ups are like the best exercise for me because my shoulders are the worst part of my body. If I want to do pull-ups around my area, if I want to do pull-ups without going to a gym and paying for a gym membership, here's how I do pull-ups. I wake up very early, like 7 o'clock. I wake up very early and I go to a little kid's playground and I go to the jungle gyms and I do like 20 push-ups and then I get really embarrassed and go home. That's the only way I do push-ups. Or pull-ups, I mean, sorry. There's nowhere to do pull-ups around me. It's very awkward. It's so awkward. I'm going to call this Punch Bowl. What's this cube? Oh, the cube is table legs. We're just going to call you glow stick now. I'm going to make sure everything is labeled correctly. We're getting pretty close to what I would consider like a completable area. So let's be a little precise with our language here for a second. Yeah, me doing workouts is very unfortunate. It's very awkward. It's very embarrassing, but it's like the only thing I got. I don't have any other way of doing it. So my kinesthetics. My kinesthetics, they're very nice. They're very sweet. I got a nice little routine going on. My dream is Beat Saber. So I'm assuming you don't have VR right now. I also really like Beat Saber. I've played Beat Saber once at a friend's house. And it was cool. It feels weird playing in front of people. I'm going to put that out there. I didn't really like that. So I would have probably gotten more into it if I was like on my own. But it's really interesting. I'm also really into HEMA, so Beat Saber really strikes that itch for me. HEMA being historic European medieval arts, otherwise known as weapon combat. So there's a little bit of that drawn into it. Let's go to the rendered view for just a sec. I need to stop looking at that because it's like driving me mad not having processing time. I could see you doing VR Chaos. You know, whenever I think about your streaming career, I'm always like, yeah, you could just kind of do whatever. You know, I think there's a lot of credit to you there. Like, I don't know how you feel about yourself personally, so I hope this is a positive thing. I hope this comes across as being very positive. But I feel you've curated an audience who just like kind of likes to hang out, which it baffles me. It's beyond my understanding. Because, you know, I feel like I have to put on a show so often. Whether I do or not, you know, I'm not asking for people to be like, no, like I'm cool. I like putting on a show to some degree. But I feel like I'm always putting on a show. And your streams are always so chill. And people love it. It's good. You've done a good job. Okay, so we want to cut this down a little bit. No problem at all. I think you got real good streamer energy. I think a lot of people receive it super well. Is this how we want this to look? This looks a little scary. This looks a little scary for me. Let's change it. Looks like packing stuff. It does look like packing stuff, doesn't it? That's a little bit better. Polystyrene. It does look like polystyrene. That's the one. That's the one right there. Perfect. That's better. So we're going to grab that, cut this to a point. Part of me wants to make this a little bit... Okay, so here's what you're not supposed to do when you're doing Blender. This is actually how I learned Blender to begin with. So I'm going to go back to my roots for just a second. You are absolutely not supposed to plug in textures into textures. I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? You're a free individual. But this is not like what you're supposed to do. But it gives you the coolest stuff in the world. So I'm going to try this out for just a sec. Let's do a 5. That's sexy? Did Chaos just say sexy? I would have never struck you as somebody who would say something as sexy. That is a good look. It looks like Aztec gold. Now, what stuff? What are we talking about? I'm driving Chaos crazy somehow. That is very surprising. Oh. Yo. Looks like, oh man, it looks like a little little comet, like not comets, craters, little craters. Oh, that looks good. Now, I have a way to make this look a little bit better, because right now I think it looks a little cheap, especially because you can see the seams and stuff. Oh, you're talking about Byzantite, or yes, Byzantite, something like that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, it does look like that. It do be looking like that. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and throw on... That stuff is cool. Are you a crystal person? Do you like crystals and all that kind of stuff? You're goth, so I assume you have to like crystals. There we go. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pop on a distortion. I'm going to pop on like a lot of distortion. Like a ton of distortion. Like 50. And we're going to make it really small. And now we're going to make like this mother of pearl looking crazy thing. So what I want to do is I want to do a divide. This is going to look bad. Not that. Not that. Subtract. We're going to use the full subtraction. 100% difference. We're going to just keep doing it until I get a good one. I don't have the ability to do vector math in my brain. I'm not a crazy person, so I'm just kind of relying on when it's going to work. I'm not like knowledgeable about them, all I know, but I love them. They're pretty and do have a scientific influence on us as we're composed of mostly water. Okay, I'm under the impression that they don't have an influence on us. Prove me wrong. I like crystals, and I think crystals are cool. They're a mineral, and like I'm into minerals. I'm into the idea of like finding value in things like that. But I don't believe that they have an effect on us. But I'd be interested to hear why they do, if they do. Just not something I believe in. I've grown up around a lot of people who do feel that way though. So it's not the craziest thing in the world for me to picture that. I just don't I don't believe in it. All right, so that looks saw. I didn't believe it till I saw some videos. Okay, now you sound like a flat earther. I don't mean to call you out like that. I'm joking for the most part, but that's definitely how people who believe in conspiracy theories talk. What happens? What do crystals do to you? You know what? I'm into this. I'm sitting here trying to like justify this. I'm done. I'm good. I know it sounds crazy. I mean, that's fine. You haven't convinced me of anything, so I'm not losing anything by you saying that. Like, you're good. You believe whatever you want to believe. I just want to know like where it comes from. Why? What's the belief? Does it like what does it do to you? Oh, you know what would sell this? You know what would sell this pot so much? Let's grab it and do a color based on this. So I'm going to go ahead and put on a color ramp right here. Just like that. And we're going to go between two different colors. One of them is going to be this. And we'll see where that goes. Come on, please. Please look good. Oh, looks good. Oh, it looks really good. Yes, 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 yes. Is like a mystic thing? Yeah. So there's a very popular culture. I mean, where I live, I'm assuming it must also be a thing where chaos is. But there's a very popular like ideology that crystals have like healing properties, and people use them to. I don't want to put words in people's mouths. I don't want to make people like seem a certain kind of way because it's their own decision. They can do whatever they want. But in my experience, it's usually as like a, how come not everybody else does this? There's usually like an atmosphere of like, why not to it, which is not how my brain is programmed. I am a very like, I need proof or I don't involve myself. So basically, they froze a pint of water with a regular rock in it, and it froze as you'd expect. And they did the exact same test with all sorts of crystals, and it left different like swirling patterns in the ice, and it's just interesting. See, I believe in that. I believe in that, no problem. I just like, I'm not eating the crystals, right? That's where I have like trouble with what is it? Oh, that is it. That's the look right there. Oh, that looks good. Now, if somebody came to me and they were like, "Hey, I got hey CQDK, surprised you're so late. What you got going on?" You don't owe me anything. I don't mean it like that, but like, I'm surprised you weren't jumping in the stream right away. I also really enjoy this bowl. I would like to drink punch out of this bowl. Okay, so question. Since we're talking about flavors, I'll get back to your flavor stuff as well, Chaos, because you've been very patient with that. What? Watching a bad movie? What movie is it? What flavor punch should I use for this punch? So make some punch. What flavor punch are we doing? Okay, I got it. Here we go. So all I want to do is grab this. That's it. Perfect. Done. Grab you. Yeah, I don't have to think about this at all. I'm like thinking that I got to extrude this and do all this sort of stuff. No, I don't. I just have to grab this. I just grab it and I separate selection. Strawberry? Okay, I reject strawberry. I'm allergic to strawberry. It's the only reason I'm rejecting it. I am fairly allergic to strawberry. Why is it so low? Am I missing something? What am I not getting about this? Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. So I took it upon myself to grab this. I guess it was pretty shallow. Let's go higher up. We'll grab punch right here. Okay. My brain cannot process what's happening right now. I don't remember the name, but it was about Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan's backstory. What? That does sound bad. That sounds not good. Okay, so that is how we're going to be doing this. And I'm going to bring this in just a little bit. We're going to overlap very slightly. Yeah, that's perfect. We got it. We're in. Okay, so it's punch time. Let's make some punch. Let's name this guy. This is going to be called Punch. All capitals. I don't mean to add the little thing on the end of it. You think for somebody that types for like 2 hours a day, if not more, I'd be better at typing? I should go online and practice typing on those websites, like the one that donates rice to people, if they still do that. I don't know if they still do that. We're going to call this Fancy Glass. And now I'm going to grab you, and you're not going to be Fancy Glass. You're going to be Punch. Big capital Punch. Okay, so what kind of punch are we making? We have a vote for strawberry. The overachiever in me wants to make sangria and put floating bits of fruit in here, but that's not a good idea. I'm not doing that. If I could procedurally put some fruit like in a texture, maybe, but I don't think that's possible. So we're not doing that. What kind of juice would a bunch of demons? I'm not doing potatoes, no way. I should have expected that one though. What would a bunch of demons drink? Now, blood is the obvious answer, but they're not really like that. They don't really drink blood. Um, Grape? I do like a grape. I'm not doing potatoes. While I have everybody here, don't forget to post in the Discord your speed sketch. I would enjoy if you made it related to this scene. Let me show you the scene since CQDK. I don't think anybody really saw the full scene. So let me show you the full scene. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, the table's a little huge. We'll make the table smaller. But this is how it looks right now. So we got some speakers. We got a furnace with little cat legs. And it's got the little part that goes in like Spirited Away. And a ball or a bowl that you put the stuff that you burn into the stuff in. The speakers have all sorts of little knobs and bits on them. They have stickers on them. Got a little melted candle. So something I can add to this to make it feel like a rave. Just a banger. That would be most appreciated. It looks dope. Appreciate that. I already have cups. I got a real nice looking cup right here. Like a perfect cup. Okay, I should explain this to people. I need to come up with a way to like show how this works. You can have more cups, yeah, but I don't think that's gonna be like interesting. You can do whatever you want. Fair enough. Okay, so let's show this off real quick. You go to Discord. Okay, we're in the Discord. We're in the voting channel. Everybody, you get to post one word into here. And assuming that we have more than 3 people, you also want to add an emote to the ones that you like. And whichever 3 have the highest emotes, I combine them together and we can make a speed sketch. For the time being, it's a little iffy because we're a small community. But assuming we get a couple more people, it'll become essential that I don't do 10 speed sketches in one stream. Because I don't have that ability. I'm not capable of doing that. And I would never actually get like real work done. So yeah, the idea is you post all that there, and we decide. Can I say a doll? Yeah, you can say a doll. That's fine. You can technically say whatever you want, CQDK. I would just prefer it's related to a rave. But you can do whatever you want, honestly. I don't like that the feet are clipping a little bit. I was going to make an excuse, but I'm actually just going to not make an excuse, just fix it. There we go. Does that look about right? No, it needs to be way smaller. Now we can GZ it on down. There we go. Yeah, I need to work on a way to like show that process a little bit better. I need to work on that process of people requesting. It's not as intuitive as it used to be, but I'm trying to like stop chaos. Because a lot of people, I say a lot of people, Simo for the most part, like didn't want to participate if there was too much chaos or whatever, which is fair. If I weren't streaming, I wouldn't participate. I'm just trying to lower the chaos of it all a little bit. Oh, also, while I'm looking at this, I am so proud. Look at this grouting I made. Look how nice that looks. And it's all like irregular and it bobs up and down. Ugh. I worked for this. Okay, let's make some punch. So we want to make ourselves a little bit of punch. We have a vote for grape. I like grape. I can live with grape. So let's start by making a neutral liquid. So we're going to make our very, very neutral liquid to start with. Like that, with just a little bit of transmission roughness, just like that. In fact, I'm going to lower the transmission roughness and I'm going to lower the actual roughness just a little bit. There we go. That's just about right. Maybe I liked it better like this. Specular is probably pretty high. Sheen is probably incredibly high. In fact, sheen tint is probably nothing. Clear coat doesn't exist. And that is probably our liquid done. Okay, so I hate to say let's just do like a grape and see what happens, but I think that's exactly what we have to do. So I'm just going to make like a grape. Like that color right there. And if we go to rendered view, looks bad. We just don't have enough light. I'm going to worry about light later. I'm not going to think about light for the time being. We got to light this whole thing up eventually. Let's not think about light for the time being. So we're sticking to this. I actually do have a custom-made HDRI for this whole scene. So the lighting should be better than that, but I don't know. We'll have to experiment and see. Do we like the grape like this? I'm like, do I put a texture in it? And why would there be a texture in a liquid? The only texture I can even think to add would be little dots like boba. And that sounds awful. That sounds rank. So, nah. I think that's it. I think we're done. Let's go ahead and get back into making stuff. So we are back to this, just this. Let's make ourselves a spoon to put the punch into cups. Now, when you say spoon, what do I think of with a spoon? I think it's got to be a cube. I think a spoon looks like this. Spoons are this right here. So a spoon is shallow. Okay, so far we have a skull, a doll, and a fire poker on the speed sketch, by the way. Which, what? I don't know how all that's going to fit together, but we'll give it a good old college try, I guess. Yeah, this is fine. This will work just fine like that. We'll go ahead and extrude this down. Thinking off the top of my head, I'm doing like a gravy ladle, right? Like, how do you serve punch? What does a punch spoon look like? I'll tell you what, a smart person would go look it up, but that just ain't the energy right now. That's not what we're up to. So if I take this back wall and I bring it forward, yeah. Here we go. We're going to pull this guy back and then extrude you up. That should be just about fine. I probably want to make it a little bit wider if I'm being perfectly honest. I feel like drawing myself, but I don't know how to draw humans. Give it a shot. Why not? Just give it a little try. I think we have proven, I say we, I think just like this channel in general, all of the community, I think we've really proven that just go for it, right? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're not going to like it? Okay. Don't post it. Who cares? I won't hold you accountable to anything. Just do it. Yeah, Nike. You just got to use the Nike slogan. Okay, so I'm thinking we want to try and pre-round all of this. if I don't pre-round it, we're going to have a few weird issues later when it comes time to subsurface it. So I'm going to pre-draw a lot of my details. Like this. Chaos, do you have any tips on drawing humans? You draw pretty good people. You have a real good C for it, which I don't know what C for it means, but I said it. It came out of my mouth. Part of me believes that it might just be experience on Chaos's aspect, but maybe they have more wisdom than I do. I don't know. Always worth asking. Always worth asking artists who are slightly more in it than you for help if they're willing to give it. Mr. Six has recommended that we all take a nice drink of water, so let's please do so. As I almost die, choking on my water. Oh, God. All right, that's fine. I'm fine. I'm alive. We're here. Use tutorial and references lots. There we go. That's about as the simplest advice you could ask for right there. Got a lot of squish fish. What are the squish fish for? What do we do to deserve some squished fish? All right. All right, I'm feeling this. So I want to loop this underneath, right? I think that's like exactly how we want to be doing this. It's a little long. If I'm being perfectly honest, this is a little bit long. Let's bring this down a little bit. No, just you. Just you. I want this to chill out just a little bit. That should be a bit better. And I can do 2 more, I think. So I'm going to keep it the same width here. And then we'll go from here. Just like that. And then we'll extrude down. And bring it in. And bring it a little bit shorter. Squish fish for fun. Just having fun with some squished fish. It's a sentence that, you know, normal humans really should never say, but here it makes a little bit of sense. It kind of looks like the omnitone or the omaton, the thing that you put in your mouth and you squish and it makes the noise. Oh, look at that. That looks great. Yep. Yep. Look how good that looks. That's a great little ladle right there. It needs to be a bit deeper, but otherwise, she's here. She's here. God's a woman and she's here. Oh. Beautiful spoon. It's a little rectangular, if I'm being perfectly honest with ourselves. So let's poke a hole right here. And let's do that. And then we'll take that bottom and we'll cup out the bottom just a little bit. And then we have a perfect spoon. I don't know if spoon is the right word for this. I guess I should call it a ladle. Although when I think of ladling punch, that just like kind of sounds sick. All right, CQDK is having a good time. As CQDK does, always manifesting. The one thing I'm going to say about this is it's a little... There we go. That's the energy right there. God is woman and she is here. I will start to use that. As you should. Honestly, there's no greater truth in this world. As somebody who lives a very post-gendered life, that's a mouthful. I didn't realize how weird that was going to sound until I said it, but I said it, so you can take that for what it's worth. But as somebody who has lived a life that is no longer really caring about gender too much, it's hard to imagine deities having gender at all. Why would they do that to themselves? Like, there's no way they would have gender. So, probably a no-go on that one. But, you know, you believe whatever you want to believe, I suppose. If it doesn't hurt anybody, who cares? All right, so that is about exactly what we want. Does that go under the table? It does go through the table just a little bit. God, I squish fish. I mean, you're up to it. CQDK, you doing okay? How's life treating you? We don't get a lot of reports on you. How are you doing? Oh, God is a squish fish? It's probably more likely. That looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Okay, so let's go ahead and node this guy up, and then I think we're just about done. Not bad timing. I did a lot today. So we're going to have an extra 30 minutes. Does anybody have anything they'd like to see before the speed sketch? When you guys think of raves, what do you think of? What is a rave item? What am I going to want here? Not even sure what that is. Got a lot of like unnamed materials here, which is not my favorite thing in the world. Fair? I have had some sad days. I think your stream is like the only place where I can feel like I can be me and I can be happy. I mean, by all means, you are welcome to be happy here. I got nothing to take away from anybody. We keep it real cool around here. This guy got all sorts of jacked up, this gold knobs thing. That's what I was looking for. Right? Yeah, it's this guy. So we're going to call this just chrome. I'm going to double check if this is also chrome. It is also chrome. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? It's a simple chrome, right? Problem solved. Okay, so you have suggested that I make drugs. Now, we're gonna have a creative moment here. I'm gonna ask a lot of you. I'm gonna ask a lot of you. Jelly shots. Oh, I kind of like jelly shots. I kind of love the idea of jelly shots. All right, let's combine those ideas together. Here we go. Here's what I'm asking of you guys. One, I'm pretty sure it's TOS for me to make drugs. If it's not TOS, it's borderline, and I'm not going to be a case file. I'm not going to make a spider with human arms. I'm just going to put that out there. So, it'd be TOS, I think, if I made drugs. Also, this is a fantasy universe. So if you can come up with a fictional drug, not a real drug, and you can take Jello shots as sort of like an amalgamation, let's make up a drug. This is probably not the best exercise for people to be doing in their life, but we're creative folk. Let's do it. Now, I think we got to ask ourselves, is it liquid or is it solid? Okay, hold on. Let's make a little spreadsheet real quick of drugs. Let me go into... Man, this is pretty good looking. You might notice I have the cup. I'm not throwing the cup around. I'm going to physics the cup all over the place, but I'm going to wait until it's in Unreal to do that. So it is fine the way that it is right now. It's going to be messed with later. Okay, so let's make a spreadsheet, right? What do we want? We're going to want, put this at a 90-degree angle. Give the cup eyes and call it Happy Cuppy Luppy. I'm not going to do that. Not doing that. There we go. I'm in on the drugs, honestly. That's a sentence that I really should never have said, but I'm in on the drugs. Okay, so what we got is we got weed, we got alcohol, we got pills, we got, I'm just going to say liquids. We've done a lot of mushrooms, though, if I'm being perfectly honest. What did I say? Pills. So how do we make something that isn't one of these? More mushrooms? I mean, that is a rave drug. Let's be real. Okay, so not to be this guy. Not to be the guy who has lived a weird life. Stamps are very common. Especially at a rave. So now I'm like, what do we want? Part of me wants to make an eyedropper, like a turkey baster, and put something inside of it. This is getting grim. I'm starting to feel weird about this. Or like a little cake bite. Oh, little cake bites might be it. That might be it. Little tiny cake. Make a pig from Angry Birds? No, I'm not doing that. Okay, I got it. Yep. We're here. I'm set. I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to make myself. I'm going to make a cylinder. They can be pretty small, so I'm going to say 18. 18 should be fine. And we're going to make ourselves a little cakey sort of thing. So, just like that. And then we're going to apply the scale of this. Go into edit mode. Grab you, bevel. Now, I want like a jelly-filled donut, right? I'm not making a rocket. I'm making like basically like a bundt cake. If I come in here and I just do this and we just extrude in and pop this guy up a little bit. Not a bond cake, a bundt cake, like a sweet roll, like the sweet roll we made the other day. And I add a subdivision to this guy, and we auto normal. There we go. That's exactly what it should look like. I want to crisp the edge a little bit. I just like really clipped my mic by doing that hard C. I apologize for that. We're going to do this. And I'm going to grab these guys and clip them down just a little bit. And now we want to mangle this up. You regret looking up a bud cake? No, it's a bundt cake. Bundt cake. It's not a butt cake. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of sculpting. We're going to make this guy look a little bit real. Probably just want to average, honestly. What is a bundt cake? the short of it is it's like a... I mean, I want to say it's like a southern thing, but it's probably from Europe if I'm being real. And what it is it's a cake pan that is shaped very specifically, and you make a cake in it, and it has a hole in the center that you can put fruit and whipping and all sorts of stuff inside. So basically, it's just meant to be like a really generalized cake. So think of it as like a giant donut. It is basically a giant donut. I mean, that's probably the best way that I can say it. It's a giant, tall donut. It's basically made out of the same, like, substance, too. Okay, there we go. I feel a little bit dirty for having made this, but, you know, whatever. I can't be that upset about it. Looks pretty good. I'd eat this. Somebody passed you this at a rave, you'd eat it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So it's basically like... it's like a dumpling. I made like a weird dumpling. That's... Oh, that actually kind of does it. I don't want to eat it yet. Well, let me put a little bit of a filter on it, and we'll see how you feel. Now, I kind of think that works. Let's just keep it simple, though. No, I knew it was going there. I knew one of you was going to take it there. I restrained. Now it looks like flesh. It's not going to look like flesh. Relax. Let's apply scale. And let's go ahead and do a bump map. And make a nice piece of cake. It's going to look just like the Skyrim cake. It ain't flesh cake. These aren't demons that, like, kill people. I mean, they kill people. I take that back. They do kill people. But they're not, like, carnivores. They don't eat, like, meat and stuff. They're, like, mana sippers. They feed on, like, the energy of the world. They're like more traditional, like, demons. Like, they feast on, like, moonlight and stuff like that. There we go. Invert that. Oh, that looks really good. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go ahead and make it really rough. Very low specular. They feed on energy, and the dessert is flesh. I mean, I can't argue with that point now, can I? Can't argue with that one. Okay, perfect. So now all we need to do is pop in another color ramp and color this bad boy up. So if I want to try and make it a bundt cake, we're going to want the inside to be like a tiramisu looking sort of thing. To Chaos's question earlier, I do like me a tiramisu. I do go kind of hard for a tiramisu. So it's a nice kind of thing to have. Okay, and we're going to make it a little bit more yellow. 0.06. That looks bad. Why does it look so bad? Let's just play with the color real quick. I'm trying to figure out what color is. You know, this happens every stream. Every time I stream, I reach a point where color is, like, impossible for me to wrap my brain around. Also, why is it glossy? Oh, it's glossy because we're on... Got it. We're on the weird, like, render view thing. Can they eat the sun's energy? Okay, there's some spoilers in there. I'm debating how much I should say. That looks better. Okay, boom. Here we go. So I'm going to pop that in, and then we're going to go ahead and lighten this guy up to like 0.3. And like 0.5. Who's your favorite person? Oh, God. Oh, God, how am I going to answer that question? Who is my favorite person? First off, can they eat the sun's energy? It's chat. You're right. It's chat. You got it. Boom. Crisis averted. Can they eat the sun's energy? The short answer is no. There's more to it than that, but the short answer is no, they cannot eat the sun's energy. And we'll leave it at that. Who's my favorite person? No worries, Chaos. You do you. Favorite person? I can feel a bit in the know. What does that mean? I don't understand that sentence at all. I'm having trouble really figuring out what bread is supposed to look like. You know what? Let's just look up a picture of cake. What am I doing? Why am I making my life so hard? Let's look up a bundt cake, and we're just going to take the literal color. Okay, give me a slice. I don't want a rainbow one. I want this. I want exactly that. Those two colors right there. Perfect. Done. Problem solved. Back to Blender, and we're just going to steal those colors. Something that always ends up happening when I do color theory like this is I realize things are way more saturated than I think they are. I like struggle with saturation. I struggle like understanding. I'm like, things can't be saturated. Like, look at that, it looks gross. It looks inedible. Like there's no way it's that color. What? Let's grab like a gray. There's no way. There's no way that's the color. There's no way that's what it looks like. That's just so strange. So instead, I got to take this and like lower it a little bit and desaturate it a little bit. And then it looks terrible. My brain cannot wrap itself around what we're looking at. I'm thinking we might want to lower scale. Lower scale. Make this guy way darker. Make this guy a little bit darker. Yikes. All right, I'm still thinking about who my favorite person is. I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite person. I don't think that's how my brain is programmed. I think for the most part, I just kind of look at people and I have like very like momentary opinions about people. Like sometimes I like people, sometimes I don't, right? I don't think I have like a end all be all, this is what it is. You're good, you're bad. It's very ephemeral. I think for the time being, the person this is a cop out. I'm giving you a bad answer. The person that I think is the most important to me right now is probably my cat. Me and my cat, we got a bond. We got a weird bond that I don't know, just is like super interesting, super cool. Like I go to bed at night and my cat does this thing where they go around and they sit between my legs and they curl up. And cats like to sleep between your legs for the most part. That's just how cats be. But my cat sleeps between my legs and like it'll be the middle of the night and my leg will be tired and I'll like move my leg and like, you know, try and push them out of the way or whatever. I'll be like, you know, get off my leg. I got to move my leg. And when I do that, the cat's like, okay. And just lets me do that, waits, and then gets back into position. Like the cat's not like, oh, how dare you, and runs away. The cat's like, oh yeah, obviously. Whatever, man, you do you. It's very cool. It's very respectful. So I don't know if I've ever had a cat. I had one cat that was like in love with me, like deeply, deeply in love with me, and that cat was very special to me. But this cat just cares. Just smart, I guess. So that's my cop-out answer. That's my not real good answer, because a cat's not a person, depending on how you believe in things. But I think it's got to be my answer. It's the only thing that I'm like consistently like, yeah, that's it. There we go. There we go. Now we've got the texture. So let's go ahead and add. We're going to add that 100%. Let's do like a multiply instead. Can't be a multiply, so it has to be an add, and I have to do just a small add. A really small add, and then that should be it. Pretty good. We'll take it there. That looks fine, you know? Could it use more? I think it could use more, but I'm having trouble. Now I have to hug my cat. Do you have your cat with you? Oh, excuse me for the yawn. I'm tired, man. I worked out hard this morning. All right, so that to me is about how big it should be. So that's the size of these little guys. Not now, but when I get home. So what's your cat's name? And what kind of cat is it? Now we must know. Now I gotta know about your cat. There we go. I think I might have like a little bit too much of like a perfection fallacy with where I'm placing things, but we'll leave it like that for now. I'm going to export all this anyway and have to rearrange it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I just need to think about things for the time being. So that's going to be that. Is there something I can do for 10 minutes? Charlie, she is mixed. Got it. My cat's name is Scout, and she is a super fluffy calico. She's basically like a Norwegian forest cat calico. Okay, so let's see. What else can I add? You know what you always see at a rave? You always see at a rave, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but I don't like it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what you always see. It's not what I wanted. It's also not what I wanted. There we go. That's what I wanted. Here's what you always see at a rave. Do some people name their cat Cat? There must be people that name their cats Cat. That's a sin. But I'm sure there are people that do that. Okay, so we're going to go... We're going to go global. Streamlabs, a little bit late today. Just going to put that out there. My other cat's is named Agata. That in Portuguese is like the cat. Why is your cat named the cat? Yeah, why? Where does that come from? What does a whistle look like? I'm looking off the top of my head and I can't figure out exactly what a whistle looks like. Oh, they're kind of... No, this is fine. This will do. And it has that little break at the top. I understand. We got it. So it has a break right here. So what I want to do is connect these two guys together. Why does your StreamLabs want us to use our channel points on suggestions? It's because I goofed up and I didn't fix it. In Portuguese, Agata is a real name, is like a joke. Huh. It's interesting. Is that equivalent to like too lazy? No, I'm not too lazy. I forgot. I did it wrong. You have to go on like a different website to set it up, and it's a whole process. And I just didn't do it right. So I gotta fix that. There we go. Just go ahead and just delete this. There we go. That's a whistle. You forgot? Are you sure? What do you mean? What's the other option? There's no way like it could be anything else. If I didn't forget, then I would have intentionally left it? What are you talking about? Okay, so if I take this and I subdivision it... Ooh! Why does it look so bad? Hold on. We're going to have to fix up this guy. What the heck is happening? This looks crazy weird. There we go. That should be a bit better. It looks gross. Okay, so we're not going to do a subdivision. Get rid of the subdivision. Goodbye. I'm going to do this manually. I'm going to do it all manually. As Simo has said in the past, subdivision only gets you so far. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it all manually. As much as I don't want to do that, we're going to do that. Now, what should I be doing? No, I just forgot. It's a whole process. You got to go onto their website and like get it all registered, and it's just a real process, honestly. And so I forgot. You know what? This is fine enough for a whistle for the time being. If I put a... Wow, it actually looks really bad. That looks a lot better. Okay, I'll put that on. This is fine. And now we can go ahead and throw a solidify on here. And the solidify can be 0.1. And now we're talking. There's a weird overlap here. I'm not sure where that comes from. 0.09, sure. Whatever, who cares? What is that? Why is there a thing here? Is there a guy in here? Oh, it's this ridge right here. I see. Let's go ahead and merge those. CQDK, why are you on me so hard? It's not that big of a deal. I just forgot. I got a lot of things that I do on a daily basis. What's the struggle here? I should probably get rid of this front face if it's gonna be like this. Like if I go like this, that makes literally no difference, right? Same thing? Yeah, all's well. I just forgot. It's fine. We're all good. I don't know why it's giving us this little crick here, but honestly, it's too small of a detail for me to care. So this is our guy. This is our little whistle, and that was a pretty good amount of time. So I'm going to go ahead and texture this guy up with some chrome, and we'll call it. Yeah, there's a lot that I do behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff that I have going on in my life right now. I mean, a lot. Just to put it as simply as possible, there's a lot going on in life right now, and it is too much for me to keep up with. I'll put that out there. Um, so I'm always busy. There's always something happening, something going on, and I have to keep track of, and I don't have the time to make perfect decisions. So every time I make a decision, I have to kind of just go for it, right? Um, so sometimes you forget things. I keep talking about like fixing the music on stream, and I keep talking about all these like things that I'm doing, and it's just like I just don't have time for them. And that's not me like trying to complain or bicker or whatever. I like being busy. I like productivity and having something that's worth living for and all that sort of stuff. But it's just tough. It's a lot to keep up with. It's hard not to have a lot of stuff. Yeah, totally. There's always something. But that's kind of what life's worth living for, right? In my opinion. If it weren't for that, I don't know what else I'd be doing. That doesn't work. No, we're going to keep it just as is. I'm not going to think about it too hard. There's a whistle. Done. We made an extra little fun whistle. Took 2 seconds. There he is. Now I'm going to go ahead and... This guy looks weird. I'm not sure how I feel about that. This has been a weird set of things, but honestly, can't be too upset about that. Can't be too upset about that. All right, so let's go ahead and clear all of this, and we're going to get into the speed sketch. So I'm going to call this it for now. I'm going to end the recording here, and I'll catch you all next time.